Okay, I'm doing a live stream. I don't even feel like doing it, but I'm going to do it because I don't want to leave anybody confused, wondering about this, wondering about that. This live is about Rose. I don't like bringing private stuff that's been said in an email onto public, and I'm not going to bring the email in on this. But I've been trying as best I can to make peace with Rose. I have answered every single question as she has asked me in email, and I've given her truthful answers. The problem is, she doesn't like the answers that I'm giving her. I can't help that. The truth is the truth. Main thing right now is Peggy. Some of you know who I'm talking about, some don't. But Peggy is an account that just says Peggy. And the holder of that account never has a panel, never goes up on a panel. You never hear the voice, but she loves to go around to other channels, steady typing in capital letters, nothing but lies. It's full of liability, slander, pure defamation. I know Rose wants to know who it is too. However, I explained to Rose that the way I work is I need evidence. She loves to say evidence. And at first that pissed me off, but now it's funny. I laugh nearly every time somebody mocks it, especially Jack. But Rose wants to tell me 1 minute, I know who it is, it's Mo Cook. How do you know? Well, she was over at so and so's channel and she used to be really mean to me, and that's not knowing that that's Mo Cook. Then, well, I think it might be so and so. I think it's not evidence. I heard that's not evidence. What I do is very organized. It's about finding out facts, not I think, I heard, or I'm pretty sure. No, that's not how it works. Now, this was between me and Rose in email. And so this last email, also, when she accuses me of saying she's a trafficker, I'm letting her know, no, that came up through Lionel Roy. And I've got the clip somewhere, but you wouldn't believe how much stuff I've got on this laptop. I have to search and search and search for it. And I don't feel like searching for it. But I did find one that I sent her where Lionel's telling her about a certain thing that she's saying over at a very large channel about some stuff that's illegal for her to do. And I don't know if that's what pissed her off when she heard Lionel say it and had to remind her. And then she jumps back on me again about the trafficking. No, it's Lionel that accused her of that. But the real suspicion about Rose maybe being involved in some type of trafficking is when she got herself involved with Ernie Shell. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But she couldn't keep this to herself. I knew what she was going to do. She's going to run right back over to her channel, start talking about me again. With all kinds of stupid shit. So I just recently made a very short video, and I posted it on my channel, and I've got it on my community wall. And I've let her know I'm done. Absolutely done. She's cut off. I was around Rose for so long because I felt led in spirit to stay around her. With Lionel, it was a whole different story. The only reason I stayed around him was because I knew I better keep an eye on him. I filed a serious report on him because he is on another reason for filing a report. I don't have to go around Lionel's anymore. I don't have to keep my eyes on him anymore. He's got people that are way more experienced in this stuff than me that are active keeping an eye on that channel. And I have been warning people, you want to stay at his channel, you better be careful. And that's all I got to say about that because I've already talked about it. But when it comes to Rose, I don't see any hope. I've tried everything I can do this last go around with her. I've been very proud of her, actually, because for the first time in these 11 years, I've seen Rose try to do better. She got quiet. She started baking cakes. Now she's into puzzles. She likes taking pictures of the ships out on the water. A lot of positive things. But she's gradually going back into the dark things of wanting nothing but chaos, continued discord, division. And the one that has abused her more than anybody is Lionel Roy, but that's the one she keeps the door open for. And at the same time, she's cussing all these other people that at one time, as she says, was her friends. I don't get that part, but I do get that part because I know how dark energy works. This is the first time since I first met her. We were okay at first when we were just talking about Rh negative blood, but then it got ugly. Because I saw Rose doing things that was unhealthy with her mother, and I wasn't saying it to her to be mean. I was telling her something that probably nurses hadn't told her before, or maybe even a doctor hadn't told her before, or maybe even if her mother had been in home health, they didn't tell her before, because I've worked in all of those fields. And there's many times they don't tell you what you need to know as the caregiver. And the number one thing is if you've ever had a stroke, you do not eat salt. And Rose was giving her way too much salt, and it was pink Himalayan, and it wasn't even ground up. It was in chunks. And it pissed her off. And she's been on my ass ever since, blaming me for her going to a nursing home when I was trying to keep her out of it. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. Everything's my fault. I've just let her run with it. I know what grief is, and I know it can last forever because love is grief. I have been her punching bag. I've let her say all kinds of things. Did I call the police on her? Yes, I did. I did. First time I called the police on her is because she was so depressed that she made death threats twice in one day. That was the first time. I knew she needed a wellness check. I did it because I care about her. The next time she got a report is when her, Katie O, and what's her name? Y'all ain't had no sleep. I gotta think. Ziggy. Janice was up on panel laughing and carrying on and was talking about Dot and Dot's mother and how she was wheeled out of the house. That set Dot off. I already knew that Dot was in a bad place. And then right after that is when, I'd already too, right before this happened, told Dot on the phone. We were talking, but I saw Dot was about to spin out into her paranoia state again, which can also lead her into psychosis. And I told her, I'm too sick, Dot. I can't handle this anymore. It's best that we just don't talk anymore. And that was the end of that, or was supposed to be. But just because I end something with somebody doesn't mean I don't care about them. So when it came up that Dot was in the back of a police car or ambulance, but I didn't know which one, and she was last seen sitting in front of a hospital, I panicked. And then, especially when nobody knew nothing the next day or the next day, and it went on, I went off on Rose. And I let her know if I find out that Dot has died, I'm going to hold you responsible and all your little minions over there, too. And I meant it. I lost my freaking mind. And the whole time I'm telling her off over at Lionel's Live, Dot's sitting right there listening to every word, knowing how upset I was. Then she pops up after I come down. Dot does. And admits, actually, I came home that same night. That right there is when I cut the cord with Dot. But in the meantime, before I knew that, I called the police on Rose again. And then I gave a full report about how Rose almost pushed me over the edge when she sent me a video sitting like she was Joan Crawford or something, makeup done, this freaking house coat on that looked like a leopard or something, saying the most awful things you could say to somebody about their deceased son and how he died when that ain't how he died. All kinds of stuff. I can't even think about it right now because I'll get pissed off. I told him about what she did, how she nearly pushed me over, and how I could see that she may have just pushed Dot over the edge. I gave all the evidence that I had. I sent them whatever they needed. They was already well aware of Rose. Then, when she finds out what I did, she turns right around and goes to the police department, thinks she's going to file something on me, but she don't have nothing to file. But her officer did give me a call, and I called that officer back. And all that officer said to me was, would you just stop doing whatever it is you got in process of doing? And I said, no, I won't. Sure won't. And I reminded her, you need to go back and look at what I called in and get all of that report, and you'll see why I won't. And if that's all you got to ask me, then I'm ready to hang up. She said, yes, ma'am. So I hung up. Later on, though, up on Lionel's channel, when I found out, when Doc said I came home that night, but nobody else knew about it, I saw for the first time in the 5 years of knowing Dot what a manipulator she was, because she had already put me in panic 2 times before that of threats of suicide. I got a heart. I got feelings. And I act if I know I need to act. And I did. Now I don't believe a word that comes out of Dot's mouth. I know how ugly Dot can be. And she pushed my button one too many times here recently. And I lost control of my human self. And some energy came out of me and went right to her. I know it did. And when I say I'm praying for Dot, I'm praying about what left me and I know has hit her, and asking God to please forgive me and have mercy and grace upon her for the energy that is around her right now, because I don't know what's going to happen. It don't just dissipate and go away. Then Dot comes on. I don't like it when Sippy prays for me. I've told her, don't pray for me. She can tell when I'm praying for her. Well, you probably can. It don't feel good because your body's not ready to accept it. And what's in you hates what's in me, whether you realize it or not. Now, Rose has put herself in a position, because God cut this off right when I heard what she recorded about me in this private email, and she went straight to her freaking channel and wanted to start talking about it. It cut. Now Rose is fixing to see some things happening around her. And again, it's going to be, Sippy's a witch. She casts spells. No, I don't. I serve an almighty God that is the prime creator of everything up above, down below, and in between. I am his daughter. I am here for a reason. I am one of those in Romans 8:28 through 31. That's who I am. So, the main reason for this is this: I don't like Peggy. I know she's dark. I know she's wicked. I know she's evil. But I am not going to take Rose's word or anybody else's word. I think that Peggy is so and so. I got a feeling Peggy is so and so, and think that I'm going to act on that. That's not how I work. I'm a professional. I'll deal with Peggy for myself because of what Peggy's done to me. Rose, hear me now if you come over here. Your problem with Peggy is your problem, not mine. Everybody that entertains Peggy, you got a problem with her? And you want to keep on back and forth, and you don't ban her or none of that stuff? That's still your problem. Rose is not fed up with Peggy, or she wouldn't allow her to keep coming to the channel. She's not fed up with Lionel, or she wouldn't let him keep coming to the channel. She's not fed up with anybody that she says she's fed up with when she allows them to keep coming back to the channel. It ain't nothing but drama. Keeping the chaos. Living in a worldly way, of which I am definitely an enemy of. I will not ever fit, don't want to fit. I was trying to pull you out of that shit, Rose. But you've made your choice. Now there's nothing between us. Because when God cuts it, it's cut. Now I'm tired. I've not had any rest. I can't sleep. I'm having a hell of a time trying to get just to go get these tests done. I just found out that my cousin's being taken back to Memphis, dying of cancer. You have no mercy. You have no grace. You don't give a shit. You have never apologized to me for anything, and I've apologized to you over and over and over and over and over for the same thing, other things that I don't even need to apologize for, but I do it because I know you need it. You ask people, you don't ask, you demand that people give you an apology. You better apologize to me. And I've seen people apologize to you that don't owe you shit. But you are a spoiled brat. And you're not going to change. But I put my time in with you. I can lay my head on my pillow at night and go to sleep if insomnia don't bother me. And not ever worry about you again. Now I'm going to address the chat and then I'm getting off here. Because I'm tired. And I got things I got to do before in the morning. Hello, Warrior Nun. How you doing? Much love to you too, honey. Hey, Cave Squeaker. Any chance we could get some streams? Not about a person. I hope so eventually. But I can't help what I'm having to do right now, Cave. Dandelion, or 2.69 is making stew. Well, good for him. Hope he don't get food poisoning. Woohoo, you say Mississippi warrior. Well, I am a warrior. I don't care how sick I get. My spirit's always strong. Sorry about you, ma'am, and Rosie, but love you both. Everybody needs love. I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody, but I know when to cut off something that's just nothing but pure negativity. I don't want that around me. Oh, is Wheels in here? Hey, Wheels, how you doing? Good to see you, honey. You are so correct, Sippy. Sodium is bad for any struggle. Absolutely, that's the first thing they tell you. No salt diet. No salt. No salt. No salt. I told her, your mother's going to have another stroke. And she did. So she ends up in a nursing home, and all of a sudden it's Sippy's fault. I cast a spell. Bullshit. I don't like Rose. That's no secret. But I would never wish injury or death on anyone. That's just not who I am. Most people wouldn't. Most people wouldn't. But I think I could drop dead today and it wouldn't bother her one bit. I see a Peggy in here. I don't even know if it's the real Peggy. But I did go look at that and it showed 100 and something subscribers. So it may be the real Peggy. My question is, why are people subscribing to Peggy who has no content? She just types. Who really knows her or him or it? Or is there a bunch of people that are playing the role of Peggy? Who knows? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting you aren't in the States. So Peggy ain't in the States, or is that just what she's saying? Don't. I'm gonna tell you something though, Peggy. Don't think that if you're in another place, even another country, you can't be got. You can. You can't find Jack. Hello, how you doing? Rose created sock accounts of me on multiple occasions. I don't doubt that. I'll give you that. I don't doubt that. I would have said that whether I was getting along with her or not. I know Rose has many accounts. Will says she's done it on all of us, Peggy. That's nothing new. Exactly. Most people know that. And even her own subs over there, not all of them are commenting. She's got subs, but it don't mean they're active. A lot of those subs is probably herself. We all know that too. But after a while, the same old stuff over and over and over, people get tired of it. Who wants to sit and watch the same movie over and over and over and over, knowing exactly how it's going to end every time? Not me. Warrior Nun says, uh, and Will's at your tomorrow. Oh, you're talking about her tomorrow thing? Peg says, Wills, how was your day? Hope you had a good birthday, Wills. It's 8:45 here. Uh, I know, Jack. Evidence. She's even saying that in her last thing. She purposely said evidence. But I listened to her 5 minutes and something she had to say, and then I thought, okay. And all of a sudden, something went snap. No more Rose. Just like no more Lionel. Will says celebrated my youngest 22nd birthday today, so it was a good day. Well, good. That's good. So y'all had y'all's birthday right there together then. He's all growed up. They grow up fast. Hey, Louis, how you doing? Thank you, honey. I know I'm always going to get a like from you. You're a good supporter. And Peggy says, Wells, I've been baking all day today. Wish somebody had baked me a cake. Um, it does sound good. I've been wanting a chocolate cake. I'd like a coconut cake too, or even a pineapple cake. I don't know. I need to be thinking about no sweets right now, but I guess I'm just wanting something sweet. Warrior says, well done. I'm sorry. I don't like Rosie. Will says, but yet she has PCT issuing orders to me saying that Rose wants to end it. Make that make sense. Why don't Rose tell you she wants to end it? Why do you need somebody else to come tell you something? And if I'm gonna tell you something, I don't know her, PCT Megan. I don't know her because I've never had any kind of dealings with her. But if she knew what I know, when it come back at the time that Rose actually called her husband and was saying the things that she was saying, she could have gotten into big trouble with her son, and that's all I'm going to say. If she really knew just exactly what Rose could have cost her, I don't think she'd still be Rose's friend unless she's just a little peewee person that can be run all over. That's my opinion of that. I know she needs more than a mental evaluation. I've been saying that forever, and that's why I've stuck around her because I wanted Rose to get help. She's never had it. She's never had anybody to really support her and stand beside her and let her just cuss them and take it and be easy with her. Well, my time's up. I don't have to do it no more. I'm sick myself. I got to put me first. It's me and my dog, and that's it. Will says, I have my reasons. Yes, Warrior None. But you and I, but you, I like, and I hope we can keep it that way. Warrior Nun, she's pretty. She's good at balancing things. I don't think you have to worry about Warrior Nun turning against you just because you might like somebody or not like somebody. That's one thing I like about Warrior Nun. And so that's how I am. I don't judge who I like and who I don't like just because somebody else has beef with them. And I respect other people that's that way too. I got to get some rest. I've not had any sleep. I'm praying to God, please let me sleep tonight because I have to be at one test at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I usually don't kind of doze off until about 4 in the morning. And it's a ways from here. I got enough stress on me without having to deal with Rose. So I'm locking it up right now. Locking it up right now. Because I know what she's going to do. She's going to go back to her channel, and I'm going to be the one she's got to bitch about for a little while. But at least it's going to take some off the other people she's bitching about because she's going to have me. And that's okay. I don't care. I'm past all of that. I just don't care. Peggy says Rose attacked her deceased children. I would never do that. Well, I hope not, because people that do that ain't nothing but just downright evil. Warrior says, I understand, Mississippi Warrior. Thank you. I think you do. I know you do. I think we're both kind of the same, too, when it comes to knowing you got to get to know a person for yourself. And it's just like everybody keeps saying, why do you keep saying around Rose when she talks about you that way? It's because of a spiritual thing. And my flesh is one thing, my spirit is something else. And I don't care how much my flesh just gets tired of something. I know in my spirit I can't let go until God in me says, you've got to let go now. I got it. Well, it happened today. And I told her, you're going to reap what you sow. You can blame it on a spell. You can blame it on a witch. You can blame it whatever you want to. But you're messing with a daughter of the prime creator. And it's just that simple. Whatever you got coming's coming. Some people call it karma, whatever you want to call it. But you do reap what you sow. We all do. Will says, I worked in emergency services for nearly 18 years, and I remember everything we were taught. Yep, I'd be sad, Sippy. Well, thank you, but I'm going to tell you something. The day I get to go back home is going to be one of the most rejoiceful days of my whole life, other than when I gave birth to my son. I've always been ready to go back. I've always known I'm not of this place, but I had to be here for a certain length of time to get certain things done. And now I feel like I've done everything. I just don't want to leave my dog behind. So I'm fighting. I'm fighting hard to keep breathing. If it wasn't for that, I honestly do. I honestly do think I could lay down and just go home. Easy. Not I'm going to take myself. Nothing like that. And I'm not suicidal. There's nothing like that. It's just that I'm 63 years old. I've been working all my life. Even before I was old enough to work. I've been working. And I'm tired. There's nothing left here that I want to see, nothing left here I want to do. I would like to go to Mount Rainier and spread some of my son's ashes, but it ain't something that I would live to do. I just want to be at peace, eternal peace. Warrior says it's a group of 3 at Peggy, Mississippi Warrior. It could be. Like I said, there could be several piggies. Several. She gave her mother salt. Yeah. But like I say, in my profession, I've run into this many times where I'm seeing people that's keeping their people at home and them go give them salt or something else, and I have to stop them and say, "Wait a minute, did anybody talk to you about this?" No, and I'll have to tell them and make them understand what salt does and about the heart rate and the rhythms and what all that does, and then it can bring on another stroke or even a heart attack. And they say, "Well, nobody ever told me nothing like that." And so I'll go get them information and print it out and give them, and I'll make them a booklet about certain things. I've had to sit down with people who have Alzheimer's in their family and help them to understand what's going on once a person who has never said a cuss word in their life and all of a sudden they're cussing like a sailor, why they do that, what causes it, and why they might not want to take a bath or shower or brush their teeth, or why are they getting combative, certain things, because nobody bothers to tell them what to expect is coming. Uh, there's a lot of things that medical don't do that they should do, because most of the people in medical, they don't care. They're just there for their check. You're either born to be in medical or you just decide that's what you're going to do because you think you got a good career, or your whole family is in that, like a whole family of lawyers. They become lawyers when some of the lawyers don't even want to be lawyers. It's just expected. So you have to have discernment on who you're working with and who's around you. Hey, Laws, how you doing? Hi, Sippy and chat. I'm just popping in to say a quick hello. Well, I'm glad that you're here and I hope you're doing well. It's coming up on witching hour now, so time to hide. Not Sippy. Not night. You be careful in that witching hour. I hope you get some rest, honey. I really do. And it is facts, warrior. It absolutely is facts. Because I'm telling you, dark energy will work itself in any way that it can. I don't care what profession you're in. Warrior says, Mississippi, exactly about that doesn't mean we're blind. That's right. Most people want to think we're all blind, but we're not. There's many of us that are awake, wide awake. We see, we hear, we know before it even happens. We know. Peggy says Rose was reading a book about sacrifices, rituals, more in front of her mother and Linda told her to stop, and she didn't. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. Linda told her, Rose, I just can't handle it. And then Rose got mad and later made a video about how Linda's her friend. And if she's her friend, she should be willing to listen to anything she wants to talk about. And that woman in her 70s. That's a fact. She was going way out in left field at that time, talking about babies and sacrifices and adrenochrome and blood, gore. Nothing that any elderly person would want to hear. When you're around elderly people like that, you got to remember, once a man, twice a child. You come in as an infant. If you live long enough, you're going to go out like one. Uh, let me see. There was also a live that Linda was crying on because Rose was yelling at her. I didn't see that one. I'm glad I didn't. She gave her mother these oils that were unhealthy. She dragged her mother into the grass to earth. I didn't see that one either. Hey, Mary Jane Doe, how you doing? Good to see you. That's not Peggy. I don't doubt that if it ain't. I was saying earlier that there are several Peggy accounts, but I did go and look at this one. I'm going to look at it again. And what I found in this one, oh, I hit the wrong thing. Let me go back. Um, when I checked this channel, let me look at it. Go to channel. Um, no, this is a different one. This one's from August 19th, 26. So this is not the original Peggy. The one I looked at the other day had 100 and something subscribers. And this is why I think that there are several that are working together. Why else would they want to even subscribe to sock puppet accounts unless they're the same person having different sock puppets with the same name, but the letters out behind it will definitely be different because YouTube's not going to give the same letters in behind the name. So who knows? Warrior Nun says, "Ma'am, you is the truth that MK Ultra children were denied through childhood. No words but pain, bruising, and woman that were carers. And I come to understand who knew something to medicine. Sorry, I didn't understand all that. Peggy's last two letters are WS. I remember it by West Side. Um, Rose was spoilt as a child. Yeah, I know that. I know. Um, Blood on their hands. Yep. But I didn't come in here to ditch Rose or to bad talk Rose. I'm spitting facts of all the things that I have went through with her for 11 years. I did get to know her mother. I know who Linda is. I know what was going on when she was taking care of her. And all I did was try to step in to help her understand some of the things that was going on and how she could help her mother do things that her mother didn't really want to do. There was a way to get her to do it. But I didn't know just how fast Rose would come at somebody that dared to give her some information like she likes to give us information about earthing and other good things. Olive oil is good for you. Those type things. But just one thing I said, that was enough. You don't tell Rose nothing because then she thinks you're telling her what to do. No, I was telling her what not to do. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And here's why you shouldn't do that. Why could she not just take what I said and go look it up and see that one of the number one things you do not do with anybody that's ever had a stroke, even a light one, is continuous salt diet. That's just one thing. And she has held that over my head all these years, inserting other things with it that never happened. So I'm just putting this up here because I know she's going to make more videos and I don't plan to address this shit again. I addressed Lionel in the other live. I played just a few things. I realized that I couldn't play a lot of the stuff I wanted to play because he mentions the victims' names too many times when he's talking. And I'm not going to risk that. But I'm backing up from all of this stuff. And I don't know what my own health is. But I had a bad episode the other night. I don't know if I had a seizure. I don't know if just from exhaustion I went out and didn't. I don't know if my blood pressure. I don't know what happened, but it felt like I died. And my dog's never acted the way he did, where I'm coming to with him pouncing on my chest in a panic. Woke me up 2 times like that, and my chest is just now getting to where it don't hurt for me to touch it. So I'm taking everything really serious right now, and I'm saying what I got to say, just in case. I know it could happen again at any time. I've already had to leave here twice and stay gone 2 weeks at a time because I kept blacking out, fainting, falling, and now this. And I'm having a hell of a time getting to all these different hospitals in different counties with different specialties. And I shouldn't even be driving. But there's nobody to help me now that my aunt is taking care of her firstborn daughter, and she's 77, and this daughter is dying just out of the blue. Find out she's eat up with cancer. So it's just me, and I ain't got no room for this bullshit online that people just want to keep on and keep on and keep on with. That's their sewage shithole, not mine. I tried to pull Rose out of it. She's not going to come out of it. She loves it. I see it clearly, especially with these 3 emails I got today. I've had enough. I've had more than enough. This Peggy says Rose projects her own insecurities onto the. Yeah, she does. But I also know that Rose has trauma from being a kid, too. I also think that she possibly has mental problems that need to be addressed by a professional. I can't diagnose her, but I got a good idea of what part of it is. And I knew that that was a way I could probably help her just by being kind and listening and slowly giving her bits and pieces of another way to look at things. And it was working, part of it. But she could not keep her mind off of Lionel and all these other people that wasn't even bothering her. And it wasn't good enough that Lizzo just, stopped. Rose has still got to keep bringing up Lizzo, 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 Leanie, 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 Tashi, 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 MJD, MJD, MJD. And you're not going to tell me that most of these people have not been over at Lionel's and said in his chat, I don't really want to fight with her. I just wish she would stop. She don't see all that. If she does, she don't acknowledge it. In her mind, everybody is wrong. Everybody's coming at her. I've tried to tell her in the emails, Rose, it's not like that. That gets her mad at me for a little while, then she's okay. Well, there ain't no more of this back and forth. Okay, not okay, okay, not okay. I'm tired, Rose. I'm sick, Rose. I have no more energy for you, Rose. You're on your own. You got Stiggy over there praising you every day. You're gold. You're pure gold. Listen to her. I don't even know KDO. You just called her my best friend. You're delusional. What y'all did and you said about Dot's mother was wrong. And you haven't even apologized for that. You never took it serious that she was on dialysis, but you ran your mouth about it. You never apologized for that. I might not want to have nothing else to do with Dot, and I don't. But when somebody's right, they're right. When they're wrong, they're wrong. And when you're right, you're right. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And when I realize I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I've not heard you admit it. Dot hasn't admitted that she was wrong. I don't need people like you in my life. Sure don't need Lionel. I wish I had never got mixed up with y'all, but there was a reason. Nothing happens without a reason. God put me in your path, and you abused it. But I learned from y'all. I got something I can say, hey, I learned. Y'all didn't learn nothing, but you will. Whether I live or die, you're going to remember me. I do try. I try as hard as I can, Warrior Nun. But when I get pissed off, I sound like a whole different person. But inside, my heart is breaking. Rose was betrayed by her sister and all the women in her life. That's what she says. But I understand. You too could be formidable, well, I'll taste that word, a power of earth and the flame of water. Yeah, but when division comes in, there's no unity. And I'll never be able to trust Rose. Not now. I honestly thought that she was getting stronger. She was getting better. She was starting to understand. But she don't. She don't want to. She don't want to understand. She'd rather stay right where she's at. She talks about loose. She is loose. She is addicted to it. And I've had my time with addicts. I don't care if it's alcohol, drugs, drama, whatever. I am sick and tired of addicts. I've spent my whole life trying to help those people. Not no more. No more. Are y'all having a drought too? Warrior none. We've been having droughts here. I'm fixing to get out the rain stick. I want to start using it for certain areas and asking them, did y'all get any rain? I haven't used it in years. I didn't know where it was, but I found it the other day. Well, I've said just about everything I guess I needed to say. Wish I had one, but I couldn't smoke it. It'd choke me to death. Um, but I hope everybody has a nice evening. Ask all of y'all that will to be in prayer for me this week because it is really going to be stressful. And hopefully next week I can get some rest. So I'm going to go. And until next time, y'all, I'm still Theost. I'm still one of Theost. I'm hosting Enlightenment of Spiritual Thought. None of that religious stuff. And I'm staying with 153. I'm going to keep on considering each and every person I meet. Anything they say, I'm going to consider it and think over it, mull over it, and see if there's a message there that I should have been listening to. And Mary Jane says, why are you cloning Peggy at Peggy? I nicknamed her Thorn, and then everybody started calling her Thorn because every rose has a thorn. And those thorns are out there supposed to be to protect you. But her thorn does nothing but prick you, whether you're trying to love the rose or get away from the rose. That's why I started calling her Thorn, because she was steady pricking me, and I wasn't doing anything. Oh, got so much rain, my animals are bathed. Oh, well, good. That's good. But it would be interesting to know why somebody would clone another person. Um, I could say more, but I'm not going to because I just don't want to get into it. Thank y'all for your prayers, and everybody have a good evening. And until next time, y'all, it's Sippy.